Time for rock news on 101.1 WJRR, Orlando's rock station. Let's check in with Lynch and Taco and see which rockers are making the headlines for all the right and wrong reasons. 101.1 WJRR.
This hour is brought to you by JRR's sold-out Alter Ego. Giveaways begin again tomorrow to fly out to the West Coast to take that show in January.
9:30 is the first one of the day.
Tomorrow morning. We'll remind you before we get there. Let's begin with Kiss news. The end of the road is literally approaching this weekend with the band's final shows Friday and Saturday night at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The band has resumed touring after it had to cancel its final two shows in Canada, as well as this past Friday show in Nashville, while Paul Stanley dealt with a bout with the flu. One of those shows our buddy Jeff Kaufman was supposed to go to in Toronto. Went up there specifically for that over the Thanksgiving weekend, dealt with all the holiday travel, and only to be left at the altar.
Quote, yesterday he said, he's dead to me. Said, hey, you know, try to hit one of the other shows, they're dead to me.
Now, speaking of the final show Saturday night at Madison Square Garden, there's been lots of speculation. Will Ace Frehley and Peter Criss show up, and will they be invited to show up? And, well, Ace has made it very, very crystal clear that there's zero chance that he'll be there because he wasn't invited, despite conflicting situation with Paul Stanley, who, has indicated otherwise. Ace was asked, well, why did Paul and Gene kind of make it seem like you guys might show up? He goes, to sell tickets.
Oh.
It's bad blood between them.
You think?
Yeah, there's... You know what? If these guys would just take a damn second to think about it, the fans are what should matter here at the final show, and put the original band on stage, even if it's for one song.
Yeah. People like Pat and the Kiss Army want it.
Seriously, come on.
Were you going to watch the pay-per-view of that?
No. The Spinal Tap sequel now will begin production. We told you about this a while back. A sequel to the 1984 mockumentary, which was announced last year, will start filming in February. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the original plan to release it in March on the 40th anniversary of the original is going to come to fruition. Director Rob Reiner says the filming will begin at the end of February. He did reveal some surprise guests for the new film. Paul McCartney, Elton John, and Garth Brooks scheduled to make appearances. Also confirmed that everyone is back from the original Spinal Tap, including himself, as filmmaker Marty DeBurgi, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer as Spinal Tap members Nigel Tufnell, David St. Hubbins, and Derek Smalls. These go to 11.
I just Googled it. The images for Rob Reiner. I was wondering if that was who I thought it was. That's Meathead from
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
From Archie Bunker, Meathead.
So we thought Metallica's M72 World Tour was over for this year, which initially it was, and they weren't set to resume until next year. But the band has just announced their first ever performance in Saudi Arabia. It will happen next month at the 3-day Soundstorm Festival in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, December 14th. This is a gigantic festival that reportedly drew 600,000 people last year.
Seriously?
Yeah. Metallica is the only rock-oriented act.
That was my next question, is what other bands?
Mark my words, they are going to take a bunch of criticism for this from some folks.
Yeah. As soon as you said it, did you see my eyes kind of go, that could be taken bad?
And if I want to tell you the dirty little secret here. There's an awful lot of Saudi money that is in entertainment these days, and entertainment that you might take in on a regular basis. Not going to be specific. I just tell you, I know a few things. Anyway.
I mean, there's Saudi money involved in everything.
I can tell you the payday that they must have been offered. Can you even imagine?
Oh, Metallica? Yeah. Good God.
I mean,
each of you get 7 wives.
Yeah.
Not you, the one that we know are gay.
Dude, Take the money in a heartbeat.
Oh, so would I.
I can play 2.5 hours.
Still using the gas. I mean, every time people protest, I just kind of say to myself,
Yeah,
what are you putting in your car?
Yeah,
oh, electric. What are you fueling your house with?
Yeah.
Electric. Yeah, that comes from
Kind of.
gas.
We're off the Saudi thing for a while, but anyway, Ozzy has been very blunt here in his latest interview, where this is not good. Ozzy says, quote, "At best, 10 years left to live."
Wow. I wouldn't give him that. I do not mean that bad. But I told you off the air, probably about 6 months ago. I go, man, I wonder how much. Yeah.
He is coming to the realization that he may never, ever perform again.
At least he went a darn long time, especially for the shape of his body.
Yeah, no doubt. And then now there's this unpleasantry. Black Sabbath bandmates Geezer Butler and Ozzy are airing their dirty laundry in public. Ozzy ripped Geezer in an interview in Rolling Stone for not reaching out to him following his physical ailments that left him unable to tour. Ozzy went on and said, Tony has been supportive of me since my illness. Geezer hasn't given me one phone call, not one. When his son was born, I phoned him every night, even though we were at war with each other. Black Sabbath and me, after I was kicked out of the band, I thought, screw it, he's my mate. I'm going to call him. But from him, not one call. Geezer disputes that and specifically cited 2 attempts to reach Ozzy. Both went unanswered. So is this even necessary, guys?
Who cares?
Come on.
I thought you were going to say that Ozzy maybe forgot.
No.
Yeah, they had a conversation with him. Up there.
Killing Joke guitarist Kevin Jordy Walker has passed away at the age of 64 after a massive stroke. Killing Joke, very influential band. They got to start in the late 70s and really gained ahead of speed in the 80s. Influential on bands like Metallica and countless others. Metallica covering, of course, if you're familiar with some of the Metallica covers, they covered The Weight from Killing Joke. Jordy Walker dead at 64. And finally, to end on a somewhat humorous note, the worst lyrics in classic rock list has been put out.
Worst lyrics in classic.
It should really probably be cheesiest, or lyrics that just don't make sense. Do you want to hear a few examples?
Yeah, give them to me, because I'm guessing.
From Pinball Wizard by The Who. He plays by sense of smell.
Yeah, because he's a deaf, dumb, and blind kid, they say in the song. Not me.
I'm just reading these to you. Da do 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 da 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 from The Police.
That one's pretty dumb.
No, that's the song title. The lyrics that they have a problem with, quote, "And when their eloquence escapes me, their long ties me up and rapes me. Their logic ties me up and rapes me."
Oh, yeah, I do remember that line.
America is a horse with no name. In the desert, you can't remember your name because there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
Why do I feel like I'm on an acid trip?
Dirty White Boy from Foreigner. "I'm a loner, but I'm never alone."
That's just heavy.
ZZ Top Sleeping Bag. "Let's go out to Egypt because it's in the plan, and we'll whip out our mattress because there ain't no beds." Roundabout from Yes. "Mountains come out of the sky and they stand there." Mm-hmm. Journey. "Don't Stop Believing." Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. No one in Detroit refers to a South Detroit, so it really doesn't exist. And number 1 from Van Halen's Why Can't This Be Love? "Only time will tell if we stand the test of time."
Again, I just feel kind of whoa.
"I'm a loner because I'm never alone."